Hello, audience. After several weeks of delays and problems, we're finally going to finish this car. As I mentioned before, we had problems getting the color matched, and that cost us a few weeks. But what cost the most amount of time was it just seems that every panel on this car, especially the body, had a lot of just little dents and little flaws in it here and there that by themselves are not even worth mentioning, but all of them put together made a lot more time for prepping. And when you're doing a decent quality paint job, you can't just leave them and paint over them. But the good news is, all that is done now. So let's get started. Now, I mentioned in the first video that the rear axle may be bent and that the left rear wheel was further forward than the right. Now, the reason I thought this was because way back when I was first writing an estimate for it, we measured the distance from the rear wheel to the running board, which was closer than on the right side. What I didn't know at the time was actually the left side running board was further back than the right. Now, we corrected that when we put it back together. We then checked the overall wheelbase from one side to the other, and they were both exactly the same. We checked the toe on the rear wheels, and they are toeing in about 1/8 of an inch. Now, like the little problems we found on the frame, it's not to specifications, but it's not really far enough out to really worry about it. There's a lot of Model A's out there where the rear wheels are toeing in or out even further than that, and they're driving just fine. Now, what caused it to be that way is unknown, but I would say for sure it was not directly caused by this collision. Reason being, both rear wheels would have had to have been hit with the same amount at the same time, and that wasn't the case. This was only hit hard on the left side. So, since it's not out of specifications enough to worry about it, and it wasn't directly caused by this collision, we're not going to do anything about it. And to me, this is all good news, because I was really worried about straightening the rear axle. We start taking that apart, it may end up turning into a complete rebuild, depending on the condition of the parts inside. So it could have really turned into a big mess. So I'm really glad we don't have to do anything to it. The right side bumper bracket we just reused because there was nothing really wrong with it. The left one was bent up pretty bad, so we were able to find another original, and that's what we have here. Well, it finally is finished. Now, it did take a lot more time and a lot more work than expected, but then again, that's just the way it is when you're working on cars this old. Anyway, that's it for this project and for this video series. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and thank you for your very enthusiastic comments, and we'll see you in the next video, whatever it may be.